Hey, hey, everybody. Hope rocking and rolling. 10 thumbs up. My chat is being crazy. Hope that this thing stays good to go. If everybody is, I only got 5 people on. I've lost 6 people on. If you can see me and hear me, comment. We've got to see if this thing's going to work. Hey. Let's turn off the chat for a second and then turn it back on. Maybe that'll help. Trying to see, this says 17 people are on, but I'm getting no chat whatsoever. Uh-oh. That didn't help. It kicked me completely off the thing there for a second. Showing I got 2 bars. I am a few minutes early. Participants. Hope I don't have to start another one out. Let's try a pop-out chat and see how it does. Hey, there's some people. Let's see. I'm catching you back. Let me see if it'll work again now. Restore chat. Yep, that's not working. So let's try that again. And I can move that to there. And I can see you guys now. I had to change over to pop-out chat. Pop-out chat. All right, can everybody see me and hear me okay? I see Grammy Karen, Farming Our Backyard, Claybank Homestead, Narrowway Farms, Fairy Tale Creation, Making Lemonade from Lemons. Back to Roots, Blue Harmony Farm. We got your card today. Thank you very much. Ivan, what's going down? Deb Van Voss, how are you? Back to Roots Stead. Okay, good to go. All right, awesome. I'm going to do this a little different today because I got to use this pop-out chat instead of my regular chat for some reason. Hopefully it is good. You're buffering hardneck. Try to redo it real quick and see if that helps. Everybody else is saying they're hearing and seeing me fine. We may buffer some tonight. We don't have a lot of snow, but we got a lot of ice. So got a little bit of stuff going on. We'll get into that in a few minutes. I am having a dinner and getting ready to pick my load at Nashville, Tennessee. Awesome. Preacher man, how are you? I'm doing good, Moon Farm. I don't know how much of a preacher I am, but I am a man of God. So, Dennis Burris, how are you? Donna Goff, Deb Mitchell Parks. Trying to catch everybody as it comes in. I'm doing wonderful. I have been working hard. Cal, how cold is it there? I'm freezing tonight. Right now as we speak, Blue Harmony Farm, it is reading 31 degrees without the wind chill. I would say it's around 20. The wind's blowing pretty good. Still don't know who I am. No, Moon Farm, who are you? I'm sorry. Is my brain not connecting to something? Tell me who you are, Moon Farm. Claiborne County, we got about an inch here of snow. Did you process all the pigs? Yes, I have 1 ham to go. Okay, Tracy. Yes, I do. Good to go. Now we know we're good to go now. Um, I have 151 here. Yeah, I have one ham to do, and I'm going to do it a little bit special. I did a video on um, barbecue / smoking in the oven in the house with the tenderloin, and then I did one on the 3 hams. I deboned them, showed that, and did those also in the oven, and did a video on those. So there's 2 videos coming, and then we jarred all of it. So I'm going to go over some of that tonight as we get through stuff. But yes, I have processed everything but 1 ham on the hogs. Now all we took from these hogs, because I shoulder shot them just so we didn't have to track or anything, was we took both back hams and the back straps, and then I could kick myself because I did not grab the inner tenderloin. And why, I don't know. That's the first piece of meat usually I take out of an animal, and it goes straight to the grill. So it's crazy. Hey, Georgiana, how are you? I missed you. There you are. Good night. I know you had to get to bed early. You got a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, we've been busy. Hello, Sheila. How are you today? Did you get my last email I sent you? Yeah. If you guys need to get a hold of me, Mims just, by the way, hello, Miss Mims Garden, my hero. Just posted up the P.O. box. She's posting up all the ways you can get a hold of us. We're going to go over some of that here in a little bit. Yep. Good night. Good night, Georgiana. Mary Carter, how are you? So yeah, we are rocking and rolling. Damn, 56 degrees in SoCal, and I'm freezing. I'm a wimp. Diana, yeah, if it was 50 something degrees here, it'd be rocking on. That's about what it was when we went hog hunting. It stayed about 50 during the mornings, 46 to 50, and then got up into the 70s during the day. But we were right outside of Miami. We were in Fort Myers, so we weren't too far, or Tampa. We weren't too far out of the way, and it was amazing. I got pictures I'm going to show you guys, things of that nature. I know I posted some on the chat. I'm liking that little comment, I can throw out some stuff during the day easy for you guys to see. How do you guys like that? Do you guys like getting those little comments and little just pictures with what's going on? Do you guys like that? I'm still trying to get the videos out and get them put up. It's just hard to get them uploaded right now. And then when the weather's bad, it's even worse. So, well, Sheila likes them. Let's see. Love the community tab. That's what it's called. Mims knows how to save me. I can't ever remember what anything's. Blue Harmony likes it too. So let's see here. That one's dark. That's a pretty good one. I'm grabbing some pictures to show y'all. A little dark. A little better. That's good enough. Well, I guess I gotta have one of that. I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm trying to get pictures to show you. That one's all right. That's good. Oh, let's see. $81 there today, Amy Walls. Hallelujah. Yep, don't forget to put in your orders for ELYN's Creation. She is actually making me very proud with that, guys. She has been working. I bet she's got over 100 pins made right now. She's had some orders come in, so thank you very much. Miss Nadine. By the way, before we go any further, Miss Nadine beat all y'all. And I'm just going to show you the first part. So Miss Nadine is first on the board, and she rocked it. So this Miss Nadine's quilt patch. She did the United States Marine Corps emblem and then did a border with Marine Corps action stuff all the way around it. So that is the very first quilt patch. So Mims called me. She said a couple of you guys have asked some questions and have texted her. She's kind of my buffer and helps me out a lot about if it's supposed to be quilted or crocheted. It can be either one, guys. You can quilt or you crochet them. We'll do two different pieces. If we don't have enough, we'll work the crocheted ones in there. I'll figure it out. I'll do something. So yes, it is awesome. It's amazing. So y'all got to catch up now. Nadine's like several months ahead of time. So hey, Mary Hart, how are you tonight, sweetheart? So yeah, pretty interesting. So we had a great time in Florida. So if you haven't seen them yet, here are some of the pictures. There's nothing graphic. There's no blood and gore in these, but that was the bigger hog. It's about 200, and there's a better picture of the actual hog. About 220 pounds. Really, really nice hog. And yes, this was taken about 10 minutes. Nah, not 10 minutes. Probably 2 hours later, and I'd taken off the red flannel and looked very fat in that picture. So this is the black hog. It's about 175, maybe 180. Good size hog. And then here's just another picture of that hog laid out. But her head was huge. So yes, the meat was great. The funny thing is that small hog, the black one, which wasn't small, 175 pounds, that's a pretty good size hog, was a boar. And we walked up on him and got to him, and he didn't smell. I didn't even realize he was a boar until I pulled him out, got him turned around because there was no smell. I'm sorry, Haddonick Farms, that it's buffering on you so bad. I'm trying. I don't know what else to do. But anyway, so it's a boar and didn't smell real bad or nothing. So we went ahead and took care of it and rocked it out. It was really nice. The meat's fine. Doesn't have a taint taste to it. A lot of times those boar will have a real strong taste to them, and they don't. But them young boars, if you can get them early, before they really get into, what you would call a rut or breeding cycle, especially if there's a bigger boar around, they're still great to eat. If you guys haven't ever watched Deer Meat for Dinner, he does a lot of hogs and stuff like that. He's a channel. He's about 2 million. He's out of Jupiter, Florida. Amazing if you want to go watch some good fishing. If you got a husband that's into the fishing and hunting, that's a great channel to put him on. A lot of fun. He's big into the community and stuff too. So really nice time. Good times to go see him. It's just pixelated a little here, but it was windy at your house, so it may be on your. Yeah, it's probably my end, Mims. We got a lot of ice. That's the bigger part here today. So yeah, it's probably on me. Sorry that it's a little crazy, but it's just the way we do it here in the mountains. So hate that it's all messed up. I purposely did not pick a topic for this week, last week, or scripture, because I have scripture that I want to read this week, just because of the time of the year it is. Yeah, all of us out here are having internet issues. Yeah. Hey, Jessica, how are you? Good to see you. We're going to read the scripture we're going to read tonight. We'll still got 5 or 6 minutes before we read scripture, but we're going to be reading Isaiah 9, chapter 9, and we're going to try to get 1 through 7. Just read the first part of it. I'm doing wonderful, Jessica. And then we're going to talk about the whole process of the hunting trip going to Florida. I'm going to go through that, and I'm going to break it down for you guys so you can see where the benefit comes in. Natural North Carolina, how are you? Where you see where the benefit of being able to get out and hunt and fish and provide that meat. I know I talk about it quite a bit about being able to do that. But hey, Lisa Hopkins, how are you? Um, Farming Our Backyard, how are you? Um, Mama Z, Texas Kitchen, trying to get everybody. Sorry. I'm sorry, Gray McCarran. We have bad weather here. I'm keeping 2 bars pretty steady, but that's about as good as I can do right now. So, and I even had to change up where I'm sitting here too. Um, so, Ensign Shy, J Love Adventure. I'm kind of jumping back and forth trying to keep up here too. So we're gonna go over and talk about that a little bit more. I'm gonna do a video on the end of the year review at the end of December. Our hunting season literally closes January the 7th, but you have to travel all the way to West Tennessee to do that. I'm going to try to get one more on the ground, and I'm going to call that the make of my season. I still may be able to hunt and harvest some more from there, but if I can get one more deer down over the next couple of weeks, that'll be quote it for us here. But I'm going to continue to hunt and try to do some stuff. ELYN's got a juvenile hunt that I can take her out. Well, yearly recap too, but ours won't exactly be hunting related. Yeah, North Carolina, naturally North Carolina. What I'm thinking is showing the end of the year review on what I harvested out of the garden just by myself, what I put up in meat, what I put up and I've done on that. Yeah, Old Testament is rocking for today. So what I'm looking at is being able to put that together and show where you can get to knock that food cost down, to knock that debt down by providing that food and be able to do that. So we're going to see where we're at and where it's at, and explain a little bit more of where I talk about not being able to or being able to provide that meat, knock that cost down so that you can take those funds and stick them to your debt and getting it knocked out of the way as well. Let's see what Ivan said. Starting late June, early July, me and Euro will be planning to drive a personal car around U.S. What do you think about me stopping by and getting you a Ivan, you just come by. You don't have to work or nothing. You just contact me, let me know when you're coming, and we will work it out, and you guys can come up here and stay for a week or two and have fun and just enjoy yourself. You don't have to come work, but we'll have a good time. And yeah, if we can work on that, that's fine, but that's not what you need to come for. You need to come to spend time. Sandy Childrens, how are you? Thank you for coming. Good night, Wendy. Sorry you're having such a hard time. Oh, awesome. You cut me some elderberry clippings. Sweet. That is awesome. Thank you very much, Wendy. That is awesome. Good to go. I met a young lady that grew one of my pumpkins the other night. She's going to grow some tonight, and she did not get any pictures. She lost all her pictures. She 800-pound pumpkin out of the seeds I gave away last year. They had to use a forklift to pick it up and move it. And then her husband used it as AR practice at the end of the season. I was like, awesome, good to go. Guns and pumpkins. That's amazing. So she's going to raise some this year. She's going to raise one. They have a big front bucket with a forklift adapter to it, and they're going to raise one for ELYN this year to bring up here on the farm. So she's got a little better area being down on the bottom. So yeah, naturally in North Carolina, I'm going to have those seeds at the Stroke Festival and at the Fiddlehead Festival here in UNICOI, Tennessee. And I'm giving away almost $30,000 worth of seeds, $15,000 at both of those events from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. Baker Creek Rare Seeds Company has sponsored us and put us in there and is being awesome. So come on, if you guys want to come up and get some seeds and stuff and just enjoy yourselves in a great time. We're going to do a meet and greet. We're going to be there. Big Bear's going to be there. I'm sure there's going to be several other channels that are going to be there. I haven't got a full list of everybody that's going to be there. I'm going to try to, by mid-January, have a list of all the hotels, all their information, and the campgrounds, what campgrounds offer RV stuff, what campgrounds offer just tent camping, and then we'll work it out from there. Should be pretty interesting. Merle Jackson Smith. Oh my God. Yeah, I beat y'all on that one. Okay, gotcha. All right. Got it. Some people are just sick. That's a yeah, Moon Farm. Tracy, yeah. Big Dreams Homestead. If you need another model, I will help. I try to blue up everybody. Let's see. Send me another comment there. Big Dream Homestead. You're good. Heather has to start somewhere. How are you? Looky there. Someone got a wrench tonight. Oh. So let's get into this. Let's read some scripture. Let's get my old man glasses on here. Oh, before we go there, all right. So tell your age tonight. Pete's Little Homestead in the house. What's going on? All right. So this is going to say, what flavor lifesaver do they not put in lifesavers anymore? All right. So question for you guys, for you older guys out there, what flavor lifesaver do they not put into rolls of lifesavers anymore when we were kids? I'm always here to help as well. Mama Z, I'll give you a blue wrench too. Let's just eat this up. All right, send me another message, Mama Z. Butter rum, apple, cherry, lime. Actually, they still put the cherry lime there, and you can get the pineapple in there. What they don't put in there is, she is right, the butterscotch or butter rum. They don't put in anymore. The coconut one too. I think you can still get those in a roll. But I found rolls of them at Five Below. If you guys have a Five Below, go buy you. You can get a whole roll of them. So I'm putting a little bit of that in my mouth. Got a little crazy throat today, not sore, but just sticky. So, yep. All right. So, Isaiah chapter 9. We're going 1 through 7. Remember, for you new people who have severe dyslexia, not using that as an excuse, that I don't read the greatest in the world. I mispronounce stuff, but the good Lord gives me the ability to do it. So let's rock this out. Southern Blessed, I saw you come in there. Welcome. Nevertheless, there will be no more gloom for those who were in the distressed in the past. He humbled the land of the Zebulun, and the land of the Nephtali. Like I said, guys, can't read some of it. But in the future, he will honor Galilee of the nations by the ways of the sea beyond the Jordan. The people walking in darkness have seen a greater light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has been dawned. You have enlarged the nation and increased their joy. They rejoice before you as people rejoiced at harvest, as warriors rejoice when dividing the plunder. For as in the day of Midian's defeat, you have shattered the yoke that burdened them, the bar across their shoulders, the rod of their oppressor. Every warrior's boot used in battle and every garment rolled in blood will be destined for burning, will be fuel for the fire. For to us a child is born, To us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the greatness of his government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne and over his kingdom, establishing the upholding establishing and upholding it with justice, righteousness from that time on and forever. The zeal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this. So I chose that this week because that should be the meaning of the birth of Christ. You should be celebrating the birth of Christ every day, not at Christmas. Celebrate Christmas for what it is, loving your family, loving one another, gifting them, and obviously loving the Lord. But Jesus Christ was born in September, guys. It's easy. Go read the Bible. Go look where it's at. Go see where it was done around that September time period. Celebrate the birth of Christ every day that you wake up, and celebrate the community on Christmas. I'm not saying it's not about Jesus. I'm saying we've crystallized it and it's not about Jesus. I'm saying step up and show your love for Christ each and every day throughout the year. It talks about the warrior. It talks about everybody that's there and walking in the shadows and not being there, and just allowing it to rest on his shoulders. Give it over to him. He still needs warriors, and he needs us here every day. And if you're not willing to stand up and be a warrior, oh wow, you're in trouble. Grace Andrews, hello, how are you? Busy Little House, I see you coming. Thank you very much for being here. But this time of year, I really think that's something that we need to understand and take to heart. I teach at ELYN, and we had this conversation. She went to church with Nanny, and they were talking about Christmas and the way it is. And I teach you here at home that Christmas is about giving gifts to each other and showing love within your family, that we celebrate it as the birth of Christ, but that Jesus was born in September. But we celebrate the birth of Christ all year long. So when we celebrate Christmas, we're celebrating Christmas for the love of everybody else. We're celebrating it to share with each other, because I cannot honestly justify going out and buying presents for other people in the name of God. I just can't. It's something that is about greed. It's about gluttony. It's about things that shouldn't be related to Jesus or to God. It's an awesome holiday. I think that it's something that we share and we should talk about. And if it gets your family together and it gives you the ability to talk about Jesus, and it gives you that open door to reach some people that aren't there, absolutely go right after it, jump all over it, and get it done. But I think that teach your children that the birth of Christ is not what we're celebrating in modern Christmas. I think that the birth of Christ was pushed so far back into that, like Fairy Tale Creations just said, has become commercialized. Ask most people to recite the Lord's Prayer, and they can't do it, and that's crazy. Hey, Bub, how are you doing? Glad you made it in. I see you there. Everybody else that I've missed, I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up and talk, and it's just one of those things that kind of disheartens me sometimes to see people doing that. But at the same time, it does reach certain people. It does get to certain people that we usually won't reach. So I hope that everybody that's on here will take that there and celebrate him all through the year. It's not about buying a present. It's not about that. It's about sharing love between each other, and that's what I do. And I buy presents. I buy presents for family, and especially the children, and that's where we go. We talked tonight about how the giving of the Christmas season was meant to re-embrace the re-embrace of the great gifts that was given to us. Yeah, well, I think what Christmas originally came out to, naturally, North Carolina, is exactly that. But it's also about the gifts that they brought to Christ. Those kings that brought those frankincense, and that brought the gold and the silver, and brought the animals, and brought this stuff. That was a sign of love that they give to them. And then Christ has given so much back to us that we have lost that connection between that, and we want to take instead of give. And that giving is not within gifts all the time. That giving may be just through your voice. That's what I hope that I'm doing here tonight, is giving back something of substance, not just through the scripture, but through my actions as a man, through the way that I talk. And I'm not afraid of holding that individual responsible for what they've done, or holding myself responsible for what I've done, by boosting up those who have done great, and supporting those who haven't, if there are good people. So yes, it's okay to get joy from giving gifts. The ultimate gift is our beautiful Savior. I've got to go now, but it's always encouraging being here. Everyone have a great night. Blue Harmony Farm, thank you. We received your card, guys. We have gotten some cards. They are hanging up over here on the side. Everybody that have sent those, thank you very, very much. I got a couple things here. Blue Harmony is one of them that sent a card to me and ELYN. ELYN's loving the cards. Uh, Emil Harrison, thank you for the gift. It's underneath the tree. That thing is probably one of the nicest presents I've ever seen. Prime did an amazing job. Google, whatever you want, Amazon Prime, did a great job wrapping it. I mean, that thing is amazing looking. Thank you. Nadine sent the patch. She also put in an order for some ELYN's creation. We've got those there. They're out and rocking and rolling. That's nice. She is super excited. She's saving the money. She's tried to talk about spending it a couple times, and I've reminded her what she's trying to do, and it's cool. I want to say thank you to a couple of people and some shout outs. They're probably not. Hey, Rachel, see you on there, girlfriend. About stuff. One of them is our host when we went on the hunting trip. My buddy Kevin that helped me on the greenhouse video and stuff. That's who I went with. He worked for UPS forever. We stopped in and saw all those guys. So everybody at the Fort Myers, if you come back and watch this or you're on here by now, then I missed you. Fort Myers Distributing Center, awesome, great job, guys. You guys were a blast to me. I stopped a huge gift years ago, and remind my kids it's not about how much you get. Absolutely. Sherry Mize, how are you? She Bear Acres. But our individual that actually, Joe, how are you? That took us, and I appreciate that took us in when we went there. So my buddy Kevin knows that I'm a big gun guy. I love firearms. I love any old 22s. That's like the thing that I love. Well, he was telling me about his buddy Dave, and Dave loves old shotguns. That's what Dave does. He's just he's an old shotgun kind of guy. That's how I was told about Dave. So we show up, and we get to Dave's house, and Dave lives in a beautiful home. Well, thank you, Pete. I appreciate that very much, buddy. I really do. You'll enjoy this next little piece too. So we get there, and he introduced me to Dave, and well, Dave is Dave Riffle. Dave Riffle wrote this book, Winchester, and it's the greatest hammerless repeating shotgun ever built, Winchester, and that gun was made from 1912 to 1980 or 1964. And book, if you want to, it's Dave Riffle. Let's see if I can get that up there where you guys can get it, that name. There you go. I don't know if that's going to come out right. Dave Riffle. Anyway, he signed the book. He gave me this is an original copy of the book, which is awesome. We went through. There's where he signed the book. But these guns are absolutely gorgeous. But so if you guys, he's not got a YouTube channel. He's not got any of that. But this is the most in-depth book on the Model 12 Winchester shotgun ever out there. If you guys got a guy in your family that loves old guns and stuff like that, please call him. This book's $50. I mean, it's an expensive book, but it's a hefty book. It's not a paperback. It's amazing. But I'm the type of person, I like information that I can go back to read for entertainment, but also go back and pull for research and reference and stuff too. But this was cool. So if you guys there, go look up Miss Riffle's book. I'm not going to go into the next one in huge detail because I know it's been out there. I don't know what Anna is saying, but I'm going to have to go in there and check in a minute because she's talking about guns and Glocks, and we don't need no Glock lovers in here. Sorry, I'm joking. But I did get my wish book. Yes. So I got 2 amazing books. So yeah, I missed one. Somebody retracted. Let's see. Let me catch up on anything here. Go girl. All right, I didn't see what you said. I got short, fat, wide hands, and Glocks don't feel good in them. So, but I tell you what, I did get the opportunity to play with today. I've got a buddy who owns a shop. He's pretty good. Yes, I just spent way more than I ever have on seeds. Yeah, on seeds today. I got you. Ever have on seeds today. So, but I got to play with the Shield, the M&P Shield EZ 9mm that they just released, and I can literally slide the slide back on that gun with my pinky and my thumb. Amazing. So was good to go. So I'm still waiting on my book. Sorry. I hope to wish book here soon. Yeah, the other book, if you guys are getting the free book, this is the free book. That big book I just showed you, the whole seed catalog is there. This is what the free book will look like. And it's amazing too. It's still, I mean, absolutely amazing. So I can't wait to get down. I've not even got to sit down and get through it. ELYN already wants the purple sunflowers that are on the front. So I guess we're going to be getting some purple sunflowers too. So there. So what I'm going to talk to you guys tonight about is kind of, we've talked about this before, but yeah, Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds and Rare Seed Company. Yeah, Joe, that's who that's from. Yeah, well, the free one's got you a bunch. The cool thing about the big one that you buy, it's got a lot more into it. Grace Andrews, God's been leading me to break goods to sit and share with our homeless. This week we will be taking warm cocoa along to the hopeful. This warm. Yes, Grace, that's awesome. Good to go. That's awesome. All right, so I'm going to break down and give you guys a breakdown on this Florida hunt. I'm going to give you guys a preview of my year-end harvest, deer and garden harvest deal. Hey, Chris, joining late. My son worked for a major delivery company, and he needed to vent. Busy time of the year. Grandma Sue Happy, I understand. I was just at the Fort Myers UPS section. So I understand exactly. Those boys were whooped. So, all right. So here's we go. Me and Kevin kind of split the trip down. We took his truck and we drove down, and it cost us, I would say, roughly $150 to $200 per person to go down and get there. Now, I took everybody out to eat one night. I'm not putting that in there because that meal was sick. But anyway, we all went out to eat at a really nice restaurant called Pinch's there in Fort Myers, right beside the and Ford homes, the mansions. We went right there and ate, and that was amazing. But so at $150 is what I'm going to say is in full fuel and just basic food and things of that nature. That's buying ice. We bought probably 15 bags of ice for all these hog meat and stuff of that nature. And for hog was was only $52, little right over $52. So let's say 53. Uh, Hold on, someone is messaging me while we're live. Did you see? So yeah, so what we're gonna do is $52 and some change. So we'll write it around $53 for that. So if you put all of that together, we're sitting at about 200 and let's say $5, and that was fuel, getting down, the whole 9 yards. Now we already had a place to hunt, so we didn't have to go around and looking for a place to hunt. But I harvested 2 animals. We only took the back hams because I shot them through the shoulders and the tenderloins. I ended up, and I still have another ham to do. I ended up with 21 pints. That was 3 back straps, 3 hams, with a total of 21 pints of pork that I went and did. And I probably had $5 worth of brown sugar and other seasonings that I use to mix in and do that stuff with. So, $205, 21 meals for the protein side of the meals. Add in a can of the corn or a can of the beans and some potatoes from the garden that we had in this year, and you probably have, you know, what, $7 or $8 in that meal, and that's going to be, if I did it the right way, made soup or made barbecue or whatever, that's going to feed 3 people easily. And that's just not me and ELYN. That's having somebody come over. So that's 21 meals that I provided for $205, let's say. Now, I have jars, I have time, I have that, but I didn't have any feed. I didn't raise any animal. I didn't have any veterinarian bill. I didn't have any fence and infrastructure. I didn't have anything of that nature in there. And that's why I'm kind of trying to get people to look at that if you're in a more urban setting or something of that nature. Now, here's the sneak peek. All right. And Lone Star Living, how are you? Here's the sneak peek. And this is where I want everybody to listen and see kind of what is going on. 2 deer I've taken and the 2 hogs I've taken of meat and 20 quarts of meat. Now, and a quart of deer meat, or I didn't do any of the pork, so all those are in deer meat. In those quarts, those 20 meals are I've made those for family meals. That means I know I've got people coming over. I'm gonna throw a pint of beans in there. I'm gonna throw a pint of potatoes in there. I'm gonna throw a pint or 2 or a quart of tomatoes that I've done out in the sauce, and I'll put them in there. I'm gonna make a large stew, and literally, I'm usually eating on that for 2 days at least. So now there's those meals. So just in the protein side of things, if you look at those 75, hopefully I'll get one more, so I'll be over 100. A North Star Prep Steader, happy December to you as well. With just that part of that, of putting up those stores for me, I think, are they wild hogs? Yes, they were wild hogs. And so how is the taste? We'll get into that in just a second, Lisa. So with just that part right there, if you look at 100, that's 100 meals. That's 100 meals that I have already got the protein for those meals. So that cost is gone. And I've got that for, on the deer, it's just my time and a box of ammo. So say $25 into those 50 some odd meals that I have with the deer meat. With the hog, I've got $205. So we're looking at $215, $230 for all of that put together. Good evening, food farmer culture. How are you? So I really, really, really want you ladies, you single people, the people that think, hey, I'm over the hill and I can't do this. Find somebody that will go hunting with you and take you out and do this. It's more relaxing than and it's hard. It's work, but you're gonna have to wants to know if you had to buy any out of state hunting license. Yes, the hunting license for Florida was for a 10-day hunting license for a deer tag was $52.68, so $53, and you could kill as many hogs as you wanted. So I can kill up to five deer and any hog, and I can go back down and buy another $10 or 10-day hunting license for like $40, and my deer tag still works with that. So I don't have to, so I can go back down for another $40 if we wanted to and hunt hogs again and hunt deer again if we ever, if you get a call after run that, or we could always go back out and do that. So when you're looking at everything combined on that, if I went out and I bought protein, and we'll just say protein across the board, not anything of what deer meat or wild hog would be, but if I just went out and purchased protein, chicken, whatever it is, we'll go with chicken because that's probably the cheapest that we have, chicken or pork, at $3 a pound. I'm eating organic meat at $3 a pound. I'm looking at $1,000 minimum. $1,000 minimum. So I just saved $700 or $800 on protein that I put on, that I know for a fact. Even the hogs where we went down, yes, they were on a commercial orange grove, but they're eating oranges. They're eating grass. They're there. I'm sure they're getting a little bit of stuff out of there. Yeah, a pound of bacon for $4. Amen. Hallelujah. If we'd have took the time and went ahead and processed, if I would have harvested those hogs here, there wouldn't have been a scrap of meat done. But we were, we're 14 hours away. So why did you go to South Florida to kill hogs? Sherry Mice, I have a friend that's from that area. He invited me to go with him. We don't have as many hogs here. So I rode down with him. He said we'd go kill hogs. He's got a buddy that's got 1,000-acre orange grove. So we rode down there and knocked it out. So it's one of those things where I can show Stapleton Family Homestead, how are you? It's just one of those things where I can show an actual process in where it's going and how it is. Now, here's the crazy part. If you go to a store and try to buy venison at a store that has a license to sell venison and it's coming from a farm, you're going to pay $12, $15, $20 a pound. I've got 150 pounds of it. So now you make that cost equation in there, and you're in a totally different area. I actually got 1 pint of broth out of the mix that I made too. So I did get a bonus on those from the hogs. But so I'm just saying, try to figure that out. If you've got a husband that's into the homesteading with you, but he's not hunting, if he doesn't want to hunt and you want to, find somebody that can show you. Find somebody that can take you out. If you live close enough to me, I'm more than happy to go. If you live in a different state, you may have to cover the license because it's not cost effective for me to go to another state where I'm paying. If I'm going deer hunting and I know I'm not going to be able to kill 5 or 6 deer, it doesn't make sense for me to pay over $300 for a license. If I'm going on an elk hunt and I pay $1,000, but I'm getting 300 pounds of meat, that's worth the money. And you gotta look at that. If I raise a beef to weight and harvest it, by the time I have the cost of the cow, by the time I have the cost of the feed, by the time I have a time for the cost of the infrastructure to hold that cow, which you're going to get some return on later down the road. But if I have all of that cost in there, you're looking at a minimum of $2,500 to $3,000. And people don't realize that. They don't realize how much it costs to raise animals, raising chickens even. If you're if you're subsidizing, and if you're using natural organic feeds, holy smokes, it's crazy. Sherry Mice, if they graze in your backyard every day, you're not going to get a better meat. And if you jar it, it doesn't have a wild taste to it. Sherry from Two Family Homestead doesn't like deer meat. I took deer meat up that I had jarred the year before, and I made barbecue sliders, and she ate those, and she ate a couple of them, and she's like, "You got to bring me." And I forgot to take it to Kentucky, so I have to get that to her at the next event. But it was amazing. I mean, it's awesome. Sherry, have someone come out if they're in your backyard. Make the deal with them. If you've got a hunter in there and you've got the property where deer are at, you have some young hunter that wants to hunt. If you know, or find somebody that has a kid that wants to take their kid hunting, and you say, "Here's the deal. You can come on and hunt my property. We split the deer 50-50. So if they give you half the meat, they take the other half the meat, and they keep the trophy. If they kill a big buck or whatever, you know." So that's cool, Sherry. That's awesome that you hunt. Garden for cheap. You live in a good area to hunt. You have nice deer down there, and the hunting laws and regulations are really good for you down there. And you have firearms training too. You've got the military background, so you know you can get it done pretty quick. Check out if you're a veteran or if your husband's a veteran into your hunting license. My lifetime hunting, because I'm a combat related disabled veteran. I got mine for $10 lifetime license. So I got $10 in my hunting license. I am Lone Star Living. I am going to the shindig. Yes, sir. I went deer hunting in Indiana 5 years ago, and $300 for only one deer. Never go again. Yeah, if you're not going to kill a 300-pound deer for $300, then you're in a lot of trouble. If you're not coming home with at least 100 pounds of meat, and a lot of times those big deer up there are not worth it. I would rather go on an elk hunt and spend $1,000. Now that sounds kind of crazy, but spend $1,000. Hey, Suzanne Baker, on an elk hunt out in Colorado. And it's $4 a day. If you break it down to go on an elk hunt in Colorado, it's $4 a day. And that pays for your gas, your rental car, and going out. If you have two people going with you, you don't want to go elk hunting without two people. And you go out and you hunt, that's 3 tags. So if you make an agreement between the 3 of you is that we're going to split all the meat, you keep the trophy. If you kill the deer or kill the elk, you can go out there, and if you all 3 harvest, you're coming home with 300-400 pounds of meat. You're coming home with, bukus. And then when you talk about elk meat, you are talking $10 to $20 a pound. In Kentucky, if you have property, you don't have to have a license. You can use land permit, just report it. Absolutely. In the state of Tennessee, if you're hunting your own property, you don't have to have a license either. You just report them the same way. I jumped a huge deer about 200 yards from me on my second ever hunt. I was so mad. It happens all the time. Deer are like ghosts. I agree. Elk meat is the best. Deer are like ghosts. I've hunted 600-acre cornfields and soybean fields in West Tennessee. Get there, be scanning this whole field, watching, paying attention, everything else. And all of a sudden, right in the center of this big flat cornfield or cut soybean field, there'll be a buck. There'll be a doe standing in the middle that's had to travel 100+ yards in any direction to get there. And there's no rules, there's no, they'll just be there. I promise you, they're magic. God gave deer magic. I had to get a drink of coffee. Sorry, guys. But the purpose of this conversation is to show you, if you're on a small homestead, or like Mama Sue Happy, where you're in an urban area and you can have a couple of chickens and you got your eggs and stuff like that, or you can raise a couple of rabbits, things of that nature. Awesome, because that's all meals. That's cool. And what people don't realize, it only takes 10 weeks to raise chicken. So get 15 and order just hens of your meat birds, raise 15 birds at a time, and harvest them. Do 4 runs a year, you got 60 some meals of chicken. That's all of anything that you can harvest. But then you go and you do your bear hunting. You've got bear hunting. You've got deer hunting. You got, if you're out west, you got mule deer, antelope, whitetail deer, elk, Coos deer, you got a lot of different hunting opportunities. Deer hunting is not a guarantee, but it is a way for you. What is hard here? My son takes his vehicle, travels a few 100 miles, and then comes home with nothing. He gets frustrated. Grandma's too happy. I mean, that's part of hunting, but you got to kind of figure out where you're at. Yeah, and you got your gardens and stuff too. Sheila's right. I mean, I'm just talking about the protein side of things. You still got gardens and you've got potting. If you're living in an urban area, you can pot pots. You can raise. I mean, you'd be surprised if you're smart. Now, here's the key with gardening in an urban setting. In my opinion, if you're looking to put up stores, when you garden in an urban setting, plant your plants. If you can have, you know, 6 or 7 pots, plant 5 of them with high yield tomatoes and plant the other ones with the stuff that you really want, some cucumbers, some zucchini, some squash. But you're planting those 5 pots so you can have some fresh tomatoes throughout the year. But off of 5 plants, if you do a German Johnson, a German Johnson, a Dr. Witchy's, which is the Jessica term for it from Roots and Refuge, you do creme black, something that's going to have a high yield on those, you can end up putting up enough tomatoes off of that to put you through more than 1 year with tomatoes. And then the next year, plant the 5 pots with your cucumbers and plant 2 with the same ones. And you got still going to get a couple of cans out of those, but you're going to get what you need through summer. And then you're going to get a run of cucumbers making pickles. Now, if you run 5 pots worth of pickles trellising up the side of your balcony or wherever you've got them planted, you're going to have more pickles than you can eat in a couple of years. So you keep going with that. Hey, Carol, how are you? I see you came in here. When you start working through, so you can do it in a small environment where you only have pots or hanging baskets or ways to plant that way. But you have to do it over a time period. It's not like you can put out a big garden like Mims's garden and those guys and a lot of the others that are on here. They're putting out huge gardens, even compared to what I'm doing. And, I've canned, I'd say I have close to 200 jars of mixed vegetables and stuff. And then, the 100 and something jars was what I hope to have in protein. So my goal is, and then you got to remember, guys, I have animal on hoof. So I have goats that I can go eat. I have chickens I can go eat. I have pheasant or quail that I can go eat and things like that. So there's, more meals out in the yard that I hope I don't have to take. But if I needed to, that I can. But my goal was I was at about 50 to 58% self-sufficiency last year on protein. This year was to get to 80. I think I'm dead on track to do that. But I still like hot dogs. I still like going out and eating and having friends. Not big enough. There's just not enough of me to do all I want to do. Absolutely, Mrs. Garden. That's why you need to move to Northeast Tennessee with Terry, Fairy Tale Creations, and the River Rat. Hey, we just need to make a commune. Just saying. Just a hint. Rainbow 505, what's going down? I have a massive garden. Will never go hungry. Might get sick of certain things, but we won't starve. Absolutely, Moon Farm. Miss Tracy, you are absolutely correct. When you start looking at that stuff, and when you start looking at how much you can raise and stuff like that, your variety is, and here's something that a lot of people get stuck in. Commune, hello, get stuck in when they're gardening. Gardening should be variety. You should raise the things you're going to get and that you need, your tomatoes, your cucumbers, your beans, whatever that is. And then the rest, you should have variety. If you're putting out a good sized garden, you should always have something that excites you. You should always have something that's going to get you up and roused and ready to go. And Baker Creek offers all that. I mean, if it be from, hey, I'm going to raise, 10 rows of giant sunflowers this year and try to get sunflower oil. Okay, awesome. But it should be something but it's going to also give you variety in your pantry as well. As the day get closer to the Lord returning, we will have to become tribes to survive. Lisa, I think that we should become tribes to survive while we're here thriving on this earth anyway. I think that's one of the biggest things that we are missing in modern society is we have forgotten about community. We have forgotten about raising children, and we have allowed the government and the school system, which is the government, to raise our children. And if you're a school teacher on here, you should know more and understand more than anybody else. When you start looking at what teachers are mandated to do, how can a teacher influence your child in a positive manner when they're not allowed? And if they get caught saying or doing something, they're fired. So all they're getting in is the more liberal, socialistic type mindset that's there. But a tribe has always been the key to community. Community is what keeps us going. When you talk about raising a child, I know when I go to one of these homesteading events, there are certain people. Don't get me wrong, my eyes always kind of. I know where ELYN's at, and I know where she's at and what's going on, and but I know that tribe, I know that community, I know what's there. The other people coming into that tribe to see it that sometimes worry me. But I usually get set up in an area where I can keep eye on everything that's coming in. So I get an idea of what's coming in. And if I see somebody that shouldn't be there in my head, I know to take a point and bring my child in closer to the center of that tribe. Yes, we can't do it all alone. We can't do it all alone. You have to teach them at home these days. Sherry Mize, you have to homeschool. You have to do those things and do that. If you don't, you're not going to influence them for the couple of hours a day you have them. My daughter is a teacher. She struggles with the demands that the school district place on her. It's sad. Yeah, Dream Big Homestead. It's amazing. It's amazing when my niece can show up and makes a comment to my daughter and ask her if with the ex's daughter and ask if she's a boy or girl. And you go and you figure out why. And it's all about the school asking her, is she a boy or a girl? The school system asking a 7 or 8-year-old girl if she wants to be a boy or a girl. First of all, as a parent, I think I'm in control of my child, per se, until they're 18 years of age. So if you're going to ask my child a question like that, that question needs to come to me before it's ever posed to my child. Hello, Outdoor with Eric. How are you? I'm the one that is responsible for that child until they're 18 years of age. On the same shoe, I think that a parent should have a boot put in their if their child does something wrong. I really do. I think if we held some parents accountable and the children accountable, we could change a lot of stuff too. Some will growers, some meat gatherers, some caretakers, some cook some product. Yeah, homestead. Yeah, Lisa, that's exactly where it's at. So I'm on my preaching box again tonight, as usual, guys. I'm sorry to do that. We got 43 in and 48 thumbs up, so that's awesome. We're rocking that out. Guys, I have a question for you guys, and I want you guys to answer me. And I kind of asked this the other day, but I went back and looked at the analytics, and I'm kind of confused about it. And this is to help me out for you guys. Yeah, Sherry Mize, I'm absolutely correct on that. So, um, the butchering film where I break down the ham, and I just made two more that's going to kind of be like that, but where I break down the ham for got to work tomorrow. Hey, good night, Naturally North Carolina. I appreciate you coming in. Where I break down the ham and I do that whole video. I thought that was one of the best videos that I had done, and it's one of the lowest performing videos that I have out there. What did you guys think about that video? Was it too graphic? I mean, that meat wasn't all bloody, so there wasn't a lot of blood. It was just working with meat. But I really thought that that video would pick up more than what it did. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Um, and be honest. I'd say that would be YouTube's fault. They probably didn't push it. I look forward to getting Shindig to get friends. Everybody, da, 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 da. I like the video. I was not graphic at all. Well, I never even saw it. Moon Farm, go check it out. It's how to break down a deer ham 101, I think is what I called that. Sheila thought it was helpful. Samson's Farm up in here. I miss him. Big old Nathan. Well, that's surprising. The best video is a graphic video of processing chicken. Yeah, I mean, and that's why I'm kind of asking. Send it out there for me, guys. Share that one for me. I usually don't ask you guys to share videos, but do that. Grab a hold of that one and send it out there. I enjoyed the video. I mean, I was watching it as I was deboning the deer I was given, just so I could see how similar, how our techniques are. Exactly, Nathan. I mean, and it's funny if you can learn one little thing about how to cut a piece of meat, it helps out. It helps out a ton if you can just see that. So I just figured I'd pick up a lot of people, um, not necessarily just in the homesteading community. That's the reason I titled that video the way I did. Do you have no things I think will do well? Don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't either. Yeah, do that for me, Mims. I'd appreciate that. Um, I just usually if I have a video that I think is going to do well, I usually am pretty on point with where it's at, and that one just kind of surprised me. It was good, a lot of information on how to cut it down and cut yourself. I haven't seen it, but we'll watch it. Sorry, I'm behind. No, Amy, you're good. I think it's important to do those type of videos. So many have no. Well, and here's the thing: you've got these guys like Deer Meat for Dinner, Arms Family Homestead. Those guys. UB, I'll answer that question in just 1 second of how I found my property. Um, and I'll answer the question real quick about what the wild hog tastes like. So with breaking down, they'll do these catch, cook, and clean videos, but then they post their cleaning and their butchering videos on a different forum, because they don't get it. I've never had one really get hit by YouTube on doing that. The key is I don't show the gutting process. Um, that is something people need to know, but not everybody wants to see that. At least you cut your finger. Yeah, yeah, I know. So yeah, so seeing where it's at on the analytics doubt I had to do with graphics so much as maybe narrow subject. Getting that from watching. Yeah, I'll have to look at that, Gary B. All right, so how I found my property, and somebody asked earlier about what the process was on, or what the meat tasted like. So wild hog to me is better than the domesticated hog. It's not as greasy, which these two hogs that we killed had fat layers like this on them. Um, it was it was even. I think the flavor is better. I think it's more flavorful. You know, if you get pork and you don't cook it right, a lot of times it's kind of bland. It doesn't have as much flavor if you're cooking pork, unless you're raising it right on the right foods. One thing I was told when I was young is when you're raising a hog, if you're slopping a hog, okay, remember this. If you're slopping a hog is going to taste like trash unless you're slopping your hog with just good vegetables. But if you're throwing everything that comes out that's edible into that slop bucket, that's trash. That's what you're going to throw away with. And you can tell. And I can remember my grandfather slopping stuff that was gone in was, your tomatoes, your rinds on your fruit, your outside peels of your cabbage and stuff like that. Any type of that to feed the hog meat and things like this, which they'll eat it. They'll definitely eat all that. But when you go to cut them, gosh, they stink. They smell like you pop open a trash can. It just smells like rotten garbage. But if you feed them the good stuff and you keep them on there and you keep them with decent grain and you keep them fat, soak your grains, feed them that stuff. But if you're slopping them and you're throwing your meat and stuff in there, it's not good. You'll get junk. But to me, wild boar is way better in my opinion. You don't get a lot of wild boar that you're going to get bacon from. You get great hog jaws from them if you got them and you can get them cut down and you have a place to do it. Yeah, I mean, if you're slopping a hog and you're putting meat in there, most times when you see hogs, they're eating grasses, fruits, they're rooting, they're doing things of that nature. The only time you're seeing them eating meat is if it's opportunity and that meat is dead and on the ground and they run across it. But if you're constantly giving them that, yeah, I mean, it's taking that extra time to do that. What's up, Plain Speaker? You never come late, brother. You're always right on time. I tell you that every week. You are amazing. Getting them tomatoes, that young tomatoes, things. It's not a normal thing. It's like meat. When they're going through and eat that off that protein, it's one of those things. Here, their berries, their foragers, their herbal is meat based. So just keep in mind when you're looking at that stuff. Iron hogs, lump coal. I think it was from using. I've got some connection issues going on. That's popping up and hollering at me. Lump coal is good for them. Lump coal is good for you. If you're ever out in the woods and you get a digestive system or a digestive problem, you can eat a little charcoal from the fire, a little ash. Watch what you're doing here. So thought I was just here. No, I just got a little thing. I'm buffering a bit too, so I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully it'll get itself out. You need to get Facebook to post. Even your mother has an account. Cecilia, when I came, hopefully it'll get itself out here in a minute. You need to get Facebook to post. Even your mother has an account. Cecilia, when I came on this mountain, I gave up all social media. This YouTube thing was an accident. I love it. I am enjoying it, but I really don't want you. Facebook is evil. It is an evil place. So sorry. I don't know if I'll ever do it. I might let Mims or one of them. They can open up a Facebook page and do it. I'll go in and comment on it or something. I don't know. I really don't want an account. So yeah. So ask me some questions, guys. Ask me related into this, and then you can ask me whatever you want. Oh, I got to answer the question of how I found my property. So it's kind of funny. I had 3 places that I would really, really enjoy living. One was UNICOI up here in the mountains where I'm at. The other one was a place in Hampton, Tennessee, called Dennis Cove. And then I would have loved to have been over in Sneedville, Tennessee. We have a small 40-acre family farm that my dad and his brothers on the Prevette side of the family kind of came up with. Yeah. Mims just post stuff on Facebook for me, and so does my mom. But those are the 3 areas I would have liked to have been in. This piece of property that I'm on, I had been here when I was younger. I actually brought a group of guys that I work with in law enforcement that invested in property when this property was first starting to be developed, and we considered buying the entire thing, and actually went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then the market crashed. Um, or I would have owned, and I would have loved to have made that purchase at that time with even those gentlemen. But went by, things had happened, nothing happened. I decided to sell and actually practice what I preached when I was teaching the prepping classes and traditional skills classes. Uh, I don't know what that was, Nathan, but so I sold my property up behind the racetrack at Bristol Motor Speedway on the lake, got rid of everything. Had a buddy JC that said, "Hey, um, come on over," and I've got the little farm over here. He had a mini farm, not really a homestead. He just had animals on it, but there was an old trailer there. We made a deal. I remodeled the inside of this trailer. I could stay there for a year while I looked for something. Well, it didn't take but about 6 months. And I came up. The guy that owns this property has actually been one of my uncle's best friends for 50 plus years. And came up, made a deal on the front property. Didn't tell anybody that I'd done it. Came up, slept on the property for a few days, figured out where I wanted to be building, and then wasn't planning to build for almost a year. And 6 weeks after I bought the property, an opportunity arose for me to buy enough stuff to frame the house in. And I bought the property in October, and we were here in March actually living. So it was pretty quick turnaround on getting everything done. So that's how I found my property. Um, where we're at, there is no more property on this mountain that is for sale, other than the couple of lots that he has here in this little community where I'm at. Uh, Mims, you're silly, but we could do it. Big Bear wants into that deal too. Mims's garden. So yeah, um, I think I mentioned maybe the last live and the live before that ELYN has told me now on multiple occasions. ELYN is very, she's beyond her ears when it comes to thinking and analyzing and coming up with things. How about the video you did about moving in years? Yeah. Um, I I'm happy. This is where I'm at. Um, but ELYN has asked me now probably 5 or 6 times to live in another state. She wants to live in another state. She's thought about it. So so I ask her, I'm trying to read comments too, guys. Sorry. I ask her, I said, well, where do you want to live? And she looks at me and she's thinking, and she goes, I think I want to live in Idaho. She says, isn't that where those elk are and stuff? And she said, it's really pretty. And what's that, North Country? And she knew North Country off grid, the whole 9 yards. And UB, thank you. And she she says she wants to live in Idaho. She's um, so we've talked about it, and the deal that I made with ELYN was that in 4 years we should be completely paid off and debt free here. All we owe on really is the property. Um, and I told her, I said we would tell her Ohio is nice for 6 months out of the year. Yeah, and so we talked about it and everything, and I said in 4 years we'll go to Idaho. We'll buy 20-30 acre piece of property, and we'll go up there and build a little house. And I said we'll live there for a year, and then we'll go from there if you really like it, and then we'll go from there. And she says she wants to build the house. I was like, okay. And but she wants to have a horse. So that is the underlying string for ELYN's creation. Because I told her the only way that she can have a horse when we go to Idaho is if she has enough money to feed said horse. Daddy will buy the horse. She has to have the money to feed the horse. Okay, I read something. I thought I missed something else. But so she wants to go to Idaho, guys. Why Idaho? I don't know. Guess because she likes to see those big elk. I'm not sure. Um, so in 4 years, if that's still on her mind, we're not going to sell this place. We will probably have somebody. Yeah, that's the cowgirl in a Rainbow 505. Um, Twin Falls area is beautiful. It's looking good to me. Uh, but we will go out there. We'll have it. I've lived all over the world. I've had, probably I'm wrong about the age. She's 6. If you were asking how old ELYN is, um, so I've lived all over the world. So I've had those experiences. I had those experiences as a child with my father in the construction business. So for an alligator when I was her age, awesome moon farm. So I lived in Colorado, Ohio, Tennessee. We went through in and out of Virginia and stuff. Hey, North Star Prep Center, I don't dismiss it. I'm gonna build it. I want her to be able to do what she needs to do. She wants a mansion though. She ain't getting no dang mansion. She can get that herself when she gets bigger. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna see what happens. And go from there. We'll sell the animals here, or maybe find somebody that wants to try homesteading out, and rent them this place for a year so that they can get kind of a feel of what it's about and where it's at. And sure, reminds I've been out of the country more than I need to be, and see where we're at. Hopefully, um, she gets that experience to be able to do that. I would love to take her out of the country right now and go to some different places, but I really don't. With as much junk of the places that I really enjoyed going on in those places, I really wouldn't want to do it. You can make her a toy mansion. Exactly. ELYN can do it. She'll keep Daddy busy. Joyce, she already keeps me busy. So she looks at me the other day and she says, I need a partner in my business. So I said, okay, then what do you need a partner for? She said, I need more pins and stuff. So I'm her partner now because I bought all the pins and a bunch more beads. I'm not joking, guys. She's got a box full of beads made, and she's buying nice beads too. She's got the little plastic beads and stuff, but she's been buying some nice beads. Chris, I didn't mean to wear this mean you were dismissing. I was just making. Oh, I understood, North Star Prep Center. I didn't take it that you thought I was dismissing her. I know better than that. My daughter said she wanted a limousine as her first car when she was little. Now she drives a Toyota. Hey, go for it. She's a hoot, guys. If you guys haven't got to meet ELYN yet, um, you'll be there. Sherry, we've got one of the biggest play sets you can. Her brother gave her that, which I'm getting him this weekend, and I'll have him on Christmas Day too. More beads are coming. Oh my God. We've got, literally, guys, and my mom does jewelry. So my mom's giving her a bunch of like semi-precious gemstones and stuff. I'm telling you, if you order beads, if you order one of these pins, she has way more than 25 cents in each one of them. I mean, we're talking about spending $6 for a pack of safety pins now. And then each pack of these beads that she's buying are $6 or so, which we went over to, I think it was Hobby Lobby, and they have 50% off. So we bought like 10 packs of beads for like $25. But when you break it down to each one that she's doing, it's fun. But I want to push and push and push and push her to do it. And if she can make a little bit of money and she can learn to save, then that's good. I want either a unicorn or a Pegasus at the age and named my dog Rabbit when I was 5, but always wanted a Jeep and still want one with a Army star. So go get it, girl. Get on that, girl. I'm looking forward to meeting you too, the Tinkerer's wife. Well, she had it on her wish list, so Miss hooked a girl up. You are awesome. I have a lot of jewelry making stuff. Oh my goodness, my mom makes jewelry too. Mims and them, I think, got to see a lot of that. She will be at my mom will be at the shindig. Hopefully, I am going to the shindig. Me, my mother, I think, and ELYN are going. I don't think my sister's going to go, but I think we'll have some of her stuff there. Um, some of her wares, her primitive stuff. Get your Jeep. I drive one. They are fun. Yeah, I need. I, I am. That's my next goal, guys. I need a new vehicle. That is one thing that I have to do. I just don't want to go in debt. I don't want to have to go in debt for a vehicle, but it may happen if the little truck gives up the ghost. My dad's still gimped around on his arm. His back's been giving him some trouble. Cecilia, mom. Mom goes and goes and goes, and she hurts and hurts and hurts. But it is what it is. How much is ELYN selling her creations for? Joyce, she is selling the small little pins for 25 cents and the bigger pins. I got her some big ones um, for 50 cents. And we picked her up some pins that don't have the twirly at the bottom so she can get them all. I have to bend them all the way and then she can lace them on so they're easier if you want to wear them as a little brooch or something. Uh, It'll be cool. Oh, so we get to celebrate the Tinker's wife on the weekend of the shindig. So that's awesome. Awesome. ELYN seems to be like a schoolmate back home in Utah from the Witt family. Their ranch was near the Colorado River. Her name was Christine, but we called her Cricket for short. Awesome. When I was 8 years old, I wanted to live in a log cabin in the mountains. At 61, I desire it still. North Star Prep Center, get there still, girl. You got that. So, what kind of truck would you buy? If I could buy any truck that I wanted, um, I love the Dodges. I love the way they look. But if I could buy any truck that I wanted, I wouldn't buy a new one of anything, but I would buy a F-250 diesel, uh, 2013, 14, 15, somewhere in that neighborhood. I just, that Ford truck, the diesel and the 250 Super Duty, is just a strong all around workhorse. I think the Dodge has got a little more power. I think the Ford tends to last a little longer and doesn't have as many transmission issues. So plain speaker, an F-250. Panoma Ponderosa, how are you? Uh, but yeah, plain speaker. I think I would go with the F-250. Um, that would be where I'd be at. I mean, dream big. Um, I like the little Toyota trucks too, um, but it's just there. Hey, Chris, I'm going to take my sick butt to bed and find say prayers for me tonight. Mama Z, we will say prayers for you. Get the crud out of there. Drink you some. If it's in your chest, um, man, I'm losing my mind. I can't even think of what it is. I have 4 pounds over there. Anyway, drink some tea because I can't tell you what tea to drink right now because it's just not going there. Fire cider would work too. Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's see, Dorsa. I was just meaning you don't have to deal with a spouse, a kid at home, so you can step out and reach the dream maker again. Absolutely. Elderberry would work great. Mullen tea. Thank you very much, Mims's Garden. I have mullen tea out the butt. That's what I take every time I get a real bad Jessica, time to clock in. Bills don't pay themselves. Y'all be good. You be good too, Tracy. All right. On the essential oils. Yep. Miss Sheila said, I don't know if she's still on here, sent me an email and said that she sent me some essential oils, some straight out essential oils. So I'm really looking forward to getting those in, which will be fun, fun, fun. Yeah, you reading my mind, Mims. You're reading my mind. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that and having those on hand here too. So we got 47 on still and 61. We're about ready to turn over that time when all our Australian folks are coming on. Freaky Geek in the house. Uh, Big Sky Dream 26. I missed you there a minute ago. Welcome. Smoked Mullen. Nope. I need to log out to have a great night, everyone. Big Dream Homestead, you have a good night. Thank you for coming on. Toyotas are superb. Toyota, Honda, Suzuki, Mazda. Yeah, my thing with the Ford is I want a truck that I can actually haul loads with. Doing what I do, and sometimes getting into situations I get into, I have opportunity to get larger stuff, and it's hard to do that in a small truck. I tried to read my mind once and it was blank. I try that all the time, Samson's Farm, and other people know what it says more than me because I'm done. Peppermint, mullein, and sage combo tea is great for respiratory. Excellent to know. Essential oils are awesome. Calms my dog down really nice, and she comes to me for it when I say, "Want your oil?" Awesome. Sunny Prep, what's going on, Pittsburgh? Good night, Mary. To the husband, we say good night as well. We are doing great. Okay, EO people, what can help an itchy dog? Ooh, itchy dog syndrome. We need some oils for itchy dog. Hello for North Ohio Railroad Auction. What's going on? Welcome, welcome. Lavender and coconut oil is what Mims's Garden is saying. Freaky Geek has the good back scratcher. That would work for him. We have a 2005 Dodge truck. It kicks butt. We give it hell, and it's still ticking. Diana, I love the Dodge trucks. I love their power. Uh, I love everything about them. It just the transmission issues that I've had out of the ones I've had are just just drive me nuts. It's going well. Feel free to call me Nora. Okay, Nora, we got you. I like the Nora from the acronym of the North Ohio Railroad Auction. Cool. What works for chafe skin? Um, Chafe skin, you can use jewelweed. Jewelweed works really good if you get it in the oils and put it into a soap. But jewelweed works for any type of irritation, skin irritation. But that's not an oil. It's just something different. I have used lavender oils. Oh man, we got all into some oils right now. My O2 Silverado HD does everything I could ever want. Only thing I don't like about it is no cruise control and no four-wheel drive. Yeah, I got to have a four-wheel drive up here on the mountain too. That's another kind of have to. I could get away with my little truck right now is a two-wheel drive, and I get away with it. So Carol says no cinnamon oil for dogs. Oh man, I have an anxiety. Don't trust the cruise control to be in total control. Yep, frankincense and lavender are good for skin, and geranium. Nice. I'm gonna really try to lock down on some videos this summer on uh, municipal plants and stuff. Hey, busy little house is back. Lavender oil is no for cats, though. Okay. Any plans to increase the animals on the farm? Cecilia, yes. I plan on doing meat chickens this year. I was planning on doing them this year, and I plan on getting some turkeys. I'd also like to get one more doe goat and one and a weather goat for the male. But I may also get rid of the goats. I'm not sure. I'm not milking them. She's not been pregnant. She's only a year old. But we may switch out and go with a bigger flock of poultry than than the other. So I have a '02 Silverado extended cab, 4-wheel drive, pass anything but a gas station. Understood, She Bear Hakers. I wouldn't mind finding a 94. If I was going to buy a Dodge, I'd buy a 94 Dodge 1500 4-wheel drive. Sheila says, can add oils to aloe gel. That's cool. And aloe is always good for your skin and stuff. Back your roots, Dad. I'm back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all stay safe and warm, Karen. Karen's up there in the frigid north. She's our big Canadian buddy up there, staying in the 15 feet of snow. Big Sky, I use oil on my golden retriever during thunderstorms. She's the 135 biggest chicken ever. There is a dog tag infuser for oils and just put it on their collar. That's cool. Oh my, she's got more snow than me. Yeah, I have never shopped for cars. God always brought them to me. Being crazy. Yep, busy little house. I hate. That's one thing I hate is cars. I love my '07 Dodge Grand Caravan. We show. Yeah, I just need kind of a truck for what we do. I would take an SUV. I'd love to have another Expedition. I had an Expedition when I lived in Michigan, and that was an amazing vehicle. Really enjoyed it. It would go anywhere. I could still put a piece of plywood in the back. Had a tow hitch so I could haul anything on a trailer. Yeah, I got it. I understand Fairy Tale Creation. I knew he was from from Canada too. That he was Canadian as well. He is just 14, and my last baby. So protective of him. Okay, there's a few Canadians in here. Sweet home Alabama. Hello, Mariana J. 2010 Dodge Hemi is the best ever vehicle. Just if you want to go fast and pay for gas a lot, Sheila. But I'm a Dodge fan. I love Dodges. Uh, I want a 1977 Eldorado. River Rat has a '05 Dodge 2500. See, y'all are just making me jealous now. Just making me jealous. I thought I was going to end. Let me tell you guys this story. Here's one for you guys for the book. So I had a little Ford Focus when I first got divorced. I bought a little Ford Focus because I wanted a little go-getter car that I could have ELYN in. Bought the car new. Well, not new. It was a year old. And got it done, and it got financed through Wells Fargo. They have the cheapest rates and everything. Within a year of having that vehicle, my payments kept going up like $15, $20, $30 every month. So finally, I get a hold of them. I'm like, look, why is my payment going up? I thought it might have just been something with the way the year was or whatever. And the lady says, well, it's because you don't have CPI insurance. You have to have CPI insurance. I'm like, I got full coverage insurance. Well, your insurance doesn't cover it, this, that, and other. Well, anyway, I ended up getting caught into that whole CPI fraud deal with Wells Fargo. So I voluntarily let this car go back when my payments went from $268 a month to almost $700 a month. So finally, I took this car. I said, you guys can have it. I hadn't made a payment in like 6 months because it kept going up and up and up. So I take it and drop it off. Boom. I have a 98 F-150 four-wheel drive, and it's still going strong. Absolutely. And, yeah, that's what I said. What is CPI insurance? So finally, I turned it in. Well, I was getting these letters for a couple months, and then they all stopped. I get a letter that I'm part of this CPI insurance fraud case, and they sent me a check for like $3,700 for the amount that I had paid for the CPI insurance plus interest, and that I was still involved in the class action lawsuit where the government had already sued them and found them guilty. So I called a lawyer, had him look up. Yeah, if you cash this check, you're good. You're still in everything. So I get it all done. Well, I get a check or a letter about 4 months later, and it has the title for this car where they paid the car off. The car's been paid in full. That was part of my settlement for the thing. Well, I said, where's the car? I've voluntarily turned the vehicle in. We don't have the car, Mr. Prevent. We've never had the car. Yes, you have. I turned it in on this date at this location at this time. Come to find out, the car has been sitting in a tow truck lot for almost 3 years now. It was right before I moved up here that I turned the car back in. And it's got like $11,000 owed on it in lot fees. So I'm like, look, I don't want the car back. Look, you keep the car. There's $11,000 owed in fees on this. You're putting me on the line for more money than where it's at. Then they won't get it cleared they've got it as a charge off on my credit, so it hits me on my credit. So this is all going in this whole thing right here. And I'm like, you guys have got to be kidding me. So I thought that they were going to settle that out and get it done and end up going and actually finally getting a vehicle. But that hasn't worked out. They sent me a letter the other day and said that that's all they're going to do. And I'm like, no, it's not. You're going to take the vehicle back, or I'm going to sue you individually on this whole thing, which you've already lost, so you're going to be done. I'm an old city woman, and this week I made a canned apple butter. First time. Years ago, I used to do more. Getting back into it feels good. Awesome, Big Sky Dreamer 26. Yeah, it is crazy. Wells Fargo is a bunch of crooks. I say it openly, and I've got the backing to be able to say it. So, absolutely, if you're banked with them and you can switch. They are nothing but crooked. Carol, it gives me anxiety. I mean, it's craziness. So we've been going for about an hour and 45 minutes. We'll go for another 15 minutes, make it even 2 hours, and then we'll jump off of here. Yeah, it is a mess. TNS Dogs and Dragonflies Farm. What's going down? Good to see you on here. No kidding, Chris. Wells Fargo. My mortgage is with them in the meantime. Yeah, Big Sky Dreamer 26. I had a mortgage on my home in Michigan, was through them too, and we had issues, and as quick as we could, we got out of that one. Yeah, they've Sunny Prep it is. And the funny part is they have been such a staple in the U.S. for so long that it's just crazy how much roots they have built into our political system that just keeps them out of trouble. You know, it's craziness. Got my nose is off for some reason. Uh, yeah, it's just crazy. It's because of how long they've been here and how many political connections they have. Pomona. But that's my key. I want to get debt free so I don't have to deal with them. So, you know, buying a new vehicle is just so hard. So if any of y'all have an extra truck sitting around you want to sell, let me know. All the big banks are correct. Yes, they are. Tinker's wife, my 95 or older neighbor, hated them way back in the 90s. Uh, she warned folks to stay away. Absolutely. Big money has more right than we do. Well, you're seeing that. If you guys have not, hey, if you guys have not been keeping up with North Country off grid, if you guys have not been keeping up with Chad and his wife over there and what's going on out in that area, go check them out, which I would say most of you guys have. We use Navy Federal now for the most part. Yeah, Sherry, I've got Navy Federal as well. I bank with a credit union now. That's a local credit union, does really good. Um, they're out there in Idaho and Bonner County, and the funny thing is that he's racking up violations constitutional Bonner County, uh, and is racking up. And Bonner County has got some issues coming their way. Um, I made a comment on his last post where his neighbor sent him the video of the two women in his garage. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not giving legal advice, but as a former federal law enforcement officer, uh, I see if he has a constitutional sheriff, which I think Bonner County does, and that's the only thing that's going for him that's kept him going pretty good. I see someone going to jail if it's not the ladies that were if whoever was the higher ranking of the two. I see someone that gave him the order to go to that location being held very accountable. And I know a lot of people said, "No, they're not going to happen. They're government employees." No, I don't think those ladies were ever told to go inside of a dwelling. I see that happening, and I see all of this stuff that's coming together now with these other people jumping in and showing and giving that information. I see them not having the same stuff. I hope Chad decides that he's going to run for office out there, because I think he would win and he would get in there and be able to do some good stuff constitutionally out there. And I don't know if that's anything he's aspiring to do. That's awesome. Oh my God, I've been watching that and watching commissioner's meeting. I've not watched today's commissioner's meeting. He's done a good job. And here's the thing is they're going after him and they've constitutionally underneath his civil rights violated his civil rights and admitted it on video that they're the ones that tried to have the videos pulled down. You have the right to video anybody in office in your community. You can walk in and video, you can video them anywhere they go. That's the funny part. Oh, they're not letting anybody speak. Okay, they can do that too, but it won't work when they get in front of um, a judge. Chad has been talking about it. Scott wanted to run too. Yeah, I was afraid he was taking on more than he could handle, but it looks like he is not the only one in the county is being messed with. They all are overstepping their boundaries big time. Yeah, She Bear Acres, they are. And the thing is that what Chad is doing is he's documenting everything and he's got it there. So it's really hard with social media and video and actual being able to catch them and with their own words for them to really, they can go after him, they can make life hard for him, but Chad's a pretty constitutionally sound individual. When I was on Two Family the other night, I've gotten 5 or 6 comments, which are, it's kind of funny, but I like it too because it makes me feel good. But I've gotten emails today talking about they didn't realize that I was as intelligent, and not meaning it in a bad way, as intelligent as I am when it comes to constitutionality and the Constitution and knowing that line of stuff. Well, I hope he is. I really hope he runs because they need to clean up some stuff out there. But I enjoy talking about the Constitution. I think that if we can go by the Constitution, there is nothing that we can't fix in this country. If we got back to a constitutional government, there is nothing that can be fixed in this this country overnight. And I mean, people talk about it takes you. No, we can do it overnight if we go back to the Constitution and we hold people accountable. If we do that, boom, you don't need to drain the swamp. You don't need to go back to the Constitution and hold them accountable to the Constitution. You will have people being shot on the White House lawn for treason, or put in electric chair, or being put into jail very quickly. I mean, I guarantee you, if we had a constitutional government right now, we wouldn't have to drain the swamp because they would be in jail. Most every one of them, both sides. It's yeah, they're not going to do it right now. But I had this conversation last night with the gentleman that I've met. We've talked several times, but we actually had to have a good conversation last night, and we were talking about it. And I said it starts right here with a conversation between two people. If we can fix this 2-person conversation and take it out into this room, into our community, into our block, into where we're at, and we change it that way, we really can do it. Because I can have a conversation with anybody, both sides of the field, and usually come about with being able to influence and be influenced somewhat. May not go and take that all the way to where they're at, but be able to show the simple fact that the Constitution works. But you don't try to argue points with people that are far left. You don't get into the finite details of what they want to talk about. You talk about the Constitution and the way the Constitution strengthens what they want and what we want. You don't want people to tell you what to do? Go to the Constitution. Constitution gives you that. You can't screw with anybody. I mean, the Constitution, if you live a constitutional life, it's back. Power to the people. Cecilia, when am I running for office? To be honest with you, I've been asked to run for office in 2 different areas, and I've turned both of them down. And part of that is due to my ex. I got a lot of fodder people could use. Guys, God or Jesus didn't go to the church to find people. He didn't find. I've been a pretty good man my whole life, but I have passed. I have things that are there. I have things that would be out there, but for my daughter's sake, not because of necessarily my past, but because of her mother's past, I would prefer not to have some things brought up to influence my daughter. At some point in time when she's older and she knows that, yeah, maybe I will. But we got a pretty good sound local gut right here. So I hope that answers your what we don't do for the sake of our children. Absolutely. I've told people, I've said this before. I've spoken at the National Tea Party Convention. I've spoken at a Democratic Party convention, and I've spoken at a Republican Party convention, all within the same year. And in doing so, I've been asked a couple times to run for office. And my comment to those individuals are you having Kajari melon grow off in the spring? I don't know who that's for, Grace, but I am growing Kajari melons. Yeah, I do have a powerful tool here. I do. But I have a precious daughter. I have a precious daughter. But I was asked, when I was asked to run the first time, my comment back to them was, if you want me to lead in this community, you go and do what needs to be done in the political arena. And if it comes to a point where you need someone to lead someone in a warrior situation, call me. I'll take on all that responsibility you want to give me. I don't know how to really say it any further than that. I mean, there are some things. Everybody has faults, and I'm not ashamed of any of those faults or anything that would come out as far as that goes. But for my daughter at a younger age to have to deal with some of that stuff would be, would be it wouldn't be detrimental, but it would be definitely molding. It would give it a different perspective. My mom might be running my political career, dumping past bombs in front of my kids now that the third stroke took her filters. Fish is low. I'm laughing. I hope that's a good. That's a funny one. Chris, you are being very wise. If God wanted you to do something, you would have to total peace. If not, don't do it. I mean, and absolutely, Chris, you are man enough to be drugged through the mud, but man enough to sacrifice the protect ELYN. Absolutely, Lisa. And here's the thing: this is how I've made my living, and I don't care if I'm 80 years old. I'll still be able to make my living with these if I had to. And it's there. President Chris Pratt has a nice ring to it. See, I can still do that. I mean, most of our presidents are 70, 80 years old, and maybe that's the problem. I'll tell you guys a quick story that's kind of fun. So I was at the National Tea Party Convention, and at the end of it, and this is just all the leaders of the Tea Party at the time, and which we know most of them are kind of gone and went to the wayside now. But they get up at the end of it and they start talking, and I'm not a member. I'm there as a speaker, but I'm invited to go and listen to everything. And at the end, the gentleman running gets up and he starts talking about who they want to get out there, and that they had to find these people to run, put in these positions for certain races, and that they needed to find, and they were talking about a big state. I won't say which one, and that I should do a live on the Constitution. That's what you just did, She Bear Acres. Let me write this down. Constitution. That might be a series of them. We might do that. That'll be next week's topic. We'll do a live on the Constitution. Rainbow 505. I haven't hit you up in a while. Send me some scripture, girl. Send me some scripture and let me know. Just email it to me. So now we're going to do constitutional stuff next week. Anyway, so we're sitting there and he's talking about, how they're going to do this and how they're setting up this, and that they needed to find somebody that was late 50s, early 60s with peppered hair and, this, that, and the other. And I'm sitting here thinking, I don't know. Grace Andrews, thank you, Mims Garden. Chris might be in for their grow off. Yeah, I'll do the grow off with them. Yeah, Consider It Joy is an awesome channel. I'll play off that one. So they're saying that they need this guy that is gray haired and this and that, and I'm listening to this guy talk about it, and he's talking 60s, this, that, and that, another. And he said, is anybody got any ideals? Has anybody got any comments? And nobody's saying anything. And I can feel it in the room. And I'm like, So I raise my hand up in the air, and he goes, Mr. Prevet, yeah, we would love to hear what you have to say. And I said, are you crazy? And he said, do what? He kind of took him back. Do what? I said, you're wanting to put someone into office that's just like the individuals that are in office. And during this whole time, backstory, there was a young man. He looked a lot younger than what he was. He's in his late 40s, early 50s, 15-year combat tested Navy SEAL. Okay. And he's standing over there. And I said, are you really serious that you want to get someone to run for this office that's the same as these? You're trying to get young people excited about someone going in office that's going to represent them and represent the people and represent the Constitution. What you need is a guy just like him. And I pointed out this gentleman, his name was Steve, pointed to Steve, and I said, you need someone just like this gentleman to be there to represent your party. I said, because another gray-haired old pepper-haired guy like yourself or like us, I said, it's not going to do anything for winning you anything later on. I said, nobody's going to ever trust him. I said, it's just not going to happen. And he looked at me and he said, are you? I said, remember, I'm not a member of the Tea Party. I'm just telling you, if you want somebody that's going to run and get someplace, that's not the guy you need to get there. And it was really funny to see his response and how they were. And he came over to me afterward and he goes, do you really think I'm that far off base? I said, you're not even in the right baseball field. My belt buckle's biting into me, guys, the way I'm having to sit. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's see what I missed here. My grandfather won several Freedom Foundation awards. I have his published entries. Awesome. That is awesome. I'm still going through all his papers. Yes, it may be a bit of both, but it doesn't usually point. Okay, I'm missing something else there. He also has a great book on how to teach patriotism to children, was for schools to use teaching. Panoma, let's put the name of that out. What's the name of that book, Panoma? I'd love to know that. I'd like to see that. Got a link for it. Put it up there, and Mims or one of them can approve it. It's that dad bod. Yeah, the done lopped over my belt buckle, leaning forward, pinching me because I can't see anymore, and I got to lean up to see this pop-out box, Mims's Garden. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. I want to know what the name of that book is too, Carol. I want to be able to look at that, go through it, read it, and possibly use it for ELYN. Thank you for the blessings there, Cecilia. But yeah, absolutely. I think we're on one of the original crisp marathons right now. I said I was getting off 10 minutes ago. We're still going. People are still talking. I can't go much longer, though. ELYN will be beating me up tomorrow. How to teach patriotism to children. No link that I know of. I'm going to do a series on it. I can get a copy made. Is it a published book that's still being published? And Panoma, and if your direct family is there and he's the author, unless he sold complete rights to that book, you should be able to republish that if you want to. So keep that in mind. That might be, that would go over great in this community, especially, but I would be interested in it. And if you're not looking to make, I don't know, no one in the family knows. It's easy to find out. You find out the publisher, you go do the research. If he didn't sell the book out, hidden within myself, what's up? If that hasn't happened, then you can go through there and look at that as a family member and petition for that. And then you could come up, if it's not a situation where you needed the finance, you could do it and set it up into a Children for Patriotism thing to get the books published and send them back out to kids and homeschoolers or something. It sounds like something that would fit great into the homesteading community and the homeschool community. So try that out and see what happens. All right, we're going to 2:15 and then we're done. We're getting off here. We've been on for 2 hours and 6 minutes. He bound it himself, and we gave to schools back in the 60s. Cool. That's awesome. Well, that's pretty neat, though, that's there. If you have a copy of that or can make a copy of that, I would purchase one of those, Panoma. That would be awesome to have, to kind of get to look through and peek into his brain and see where he was, and that's one of my things that I enjoy. Well, I'm getting it. If the boat here. Okay, Tinker's wife. Good night. Mo Homestead finally getting in the house right as we're getting ready off. Major Chaplain Howard Daniel Morgan Sr. That is a distinguished name and titles. Love it. Maybe he self-published. Wow. So very cool. What a legacy. Yeah, if he self-published them, that's awesome. That's cool. If he self-published them, you're open. You can do everything you need to do, especially if you've got an original copy. But definitely get it and put it in PDF form. I mean, heck, it'd be hard to get published today. It really would. You'd have to go through one of the constitutionally sound publishers, which is, goodness gracious. That's cool that you have the originals. That is awesome. Put me as number one. I get number one if you ever make any copies. Original, not plural. I got you. How many pages is it? Yeah. That is amazing. A ton. Nothing true in the Library on Congress. That's it. Yep. Yeah, I mean, Grandma's so happy. That's what I was saying. If you wanted to do it just in honor of father, do it to publish more books and get them out to more homeschoolers. And that obviously think that's what your grandfather was wanting to do. So why not? Why not get it there? Yeah, do a Kickstarter for publishing, and get it there to give out to those children and strengthen our constitutional values. Mo Homestead, you don't need to go back and watch everything. This has been an original marathon, and we're going to get off here in a few minutes. Yeah, that is a good legacy. I agree with you, Rainbow 505. But it's awesome legacy too. That's a great Deb Van. It's a great idea about the Kickstarter too. He was a political cartoonist for Kilgore News Herald in Texas. It's overwhelming. That's cool. It's only tippy here. Yeah. She will have to put something on it. So, yep, definitely. Yeah, having fun. We are having fun tonight. But I do think getting it published and getting it published would be a benefit to you in today's age of being able to look at that. You need to go through and read some of the wording and how it's worded. If he was doing it in the 60s, cover your six, make sure everything's good to go. Well, I think the first thing would be is to get the copy. Make a book on the story of his life and include the book and the cartoons, and that maybe sell even better than just doing that, the general public, and still be able to. I can. Nathan, do you need Rand? That they would release for something like they would release. Plus, if she looked through his archives, he's probably got cartoons that were never released. So she'd only need one or two published cartoons to go with the originals. And then that would be cool. Yeah, don't forget to go over and check out Samson Farm, and everybody here knows him. But go over and throw in a loop for yourselves and watch some of his stuff. Get him up on his hours. Knock those out of the book for him. I'm starting to buffer again. I'm sorry, guys. Yep, that's cool. That's cool. I ran him on his live the other day. I just put it on and let his stuff run. All right, guys, let's start to get off here and say our Southern goodbyes. As always, thank you for coming. I love each and every one of you and love what you guys do for me as well as for this community. God bless. Live with what God gives you. Celebrate his birth every day, not on December the 25th. Celebrate it every day and enjoy your family on the 25th. And enjoy it tonight, guys. See ya.